What up, YouTube? Case Plus Prime here, back at you with the next episode of HorrorFest. Shifting gears now. We're now going to be focusing on one of the next Saw films in the series. Again, I have already reviewed 4 and 5. I will be reviewing all 7 of them with the exception of the first one because I do not own a standalone copy of the original. And doing kind of a pattern with these ones, and if you kind of catch on to it, feel free to comment what you think the pattern is, and I will reveal it at the last movie of the series. I do have other horror movies besides the Saw ones, but I would like to review those as we get closer to Halloween. But let's move on. The next one we're going to be doing is... I watched all 6... when I first started watching the movies, I just watched the clips of the traps on YouTube. And this is one of the ones where I would watch all the traps except for one. And that movie is Saw 3. This version being in particular the unrated edition. Saw 3 was that movie that when I saw it for the first time, like the traps, there was actually one trap that I actually didn't want to go back and watch again, and I have my reasons. But this one takes place, obviously, after the events of Saw 2, and kind of is the last one that features everything done by Jigsaw. In this one, most of the stuff is done by Amanda Young, who we saw as Jigsaw's disciple in the second film. But, as we all know with Amanda, and also later with Hoffman, her traps are unescapable because she thinks the victims that she chooses aren't worthy of their lives they've been living. And that was made relatively obvious with the classroom and angel hair traps. So, anyway, I'll get on to the rest of that later. First of all, the front of the case, Saw 3 Unrated Edition. 3 teeth hanging from what look like barbed wire. And then the quote, "Suffering, you haven't seen anything yet." Widescreen. On the back, you have "Face Your Fears," and I think that's one of the pig masks. And there's a read-up that says, "Jigsaw has disappeared. Along with his new apprentice, Amanda, the puppet master behind the cruel, intricate games that have terrified the community and baffled police has once again eluded capture and vanished. While city detectives scramble to locate him, Dr. Lynn Denlin and Jeff Reinhardt are unaware that they are about to become the latest pawns on his vicious chessboard." Special features include the traps of Saw 3, the details of death props of Saw 3, and Darren's diary, which includes a whole bunch of commentary, deleted scenes, and there's also a music video on here. For those of you guys who might have be fans of Shawnee Smith or Hydro Vibe, the song "The Killer Inside" is featured on the DVD's main menu, and I think also the music video was on here. So anyway, slipping this off. There's really not much to it. I'm not even going to open the case, or hell I will. And again, it's just a simple disc design with Tobin Bell as Jigsaw by Twisted Pictures and Lionsgate. Now back on what I was saying on how this one actually got to me. Actually, this trap got to a lot of people. There was one trap in this movie that actually still holds the record for the grossest Saw trap in the franchise. And that was the pig vat trap. Not the one with... It's not the one with the girl hanging in the ice room, or the one with the dude getting his limbs twisted off. It's the one that has the judge chained by his neck, and he's being drowned alive. Honestly, that was considered to be one of the grossest traps in the franchise's history. But honestly, that wasn't the part that got me. The part that got me was what Jeff had to do to get the key to save the judge. And with all of us horror movie fanatics, there is actually something that scares us. I know everybody says, "Oh, I'm not afraid of anything, I'm fearless, blah blah blah." Let's be honest, we're all scared of something. And I've been to some of these R-rated movie premieres, or seen clips of them on YouTube of people's reactions, and with at least one film each, there is a trap that gets someone where they kind of don't look, or kind of curl up in the ball or the fetal position when they see it happen. The part that gets chills down my spine every time I watch it is what Jeff had to do to get the key. And for those of you guys who remember, what he had to do to get the key was, it was located inside of an incinerator, containing with it all of his son's stuff. What do you have to do to get him out? Hit a button, burn everything inside. Why does that get me? Well, for those of you guys who may or may not know, I am pyrophobic. I am absolutely terrified of fire. And just when I see those flames, especially destroying innocent toys and photographs, that actually kind of, hell, even thinking about it is getting my heartbeat going. But I've actually heard a theory about that part. Now, I heard, this is only a rumor, so I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I've heard rumors that in one of the production versions of that version, the key was hanging on the roof of the incinerator, so if Jeff had been able to find a way to break through the door, he'd be able just to reach up inside and get the key without having to destroy his son's stuff. That does sound a bit, far-fetched, like bullshit, because that door was made of bulletproof glass, but it's a theory. But still, 3 was a good movie. It was good. It's pretty much the last film where we see Jigsaw's active work before it moves on to Hoffman. This is also the last we see of Amanda. So, it really is something that you want to pay attention to. If you're interested in, I would recommend watching it. But keep in mind that this definitely had some gruesome traps in it, including someone being frozen alive, nearly drowning to death, but lived, having their limbs twisted off, being shot, blown up, stuff like that. Then again, something you shouldn't be no stranger to if you've seen all 7 films. So I guess that's about it. Later, guys. I'm out of here.